My name's Rhapsody, his name is Teak, and welcome back to the ladder streak for this week. How's it going, bud?
This week I'm only Teak. I didn't get the sneaky.
Ooh, yeah.
But
I
you know,
don't know,
but I do that in the take a peek. It just depends on how you feel. Because Teak was the original name, but sneaky was the addendum, as it were, the prefix, yeah. And I really respond to either of them.
I've been kind of jumping back and forth, especially when our collaborative series were in their infancy. I would always try and address you by full title because I knew that there were some locations I'd seen where
Esquired.
you'd written your own name. Oh, Esquire the Third, of course.
That's right.
There's a few venues I'd seen you'd written your own name in a casual setting, but still used the full Sneaky Teak and all lowercase. And I was like, I'm going to continue that stylistic choice.
Yep. I really like the full Sneaky Teak now, and that's how I, as a creator, that's how I identified. Teak was my character in games. Right? Like Teak was the character that I played, but I'm also used to referring to as Teak, so that works too. The one that I can tell is like a newer acquaintance is there's a few of my peers who call me Sneaky, which I don't mind at all, but that's definitely not the history of the name. It's certainly more likely Teak or Sneaky Teak than Sneaky, but
yeah,
you can call me a lot worse than Sneaky, that's for sure. So we'll take it.
For me, it's always been like Rhapsody has been the kind of screen name.
Yeah.
People who know me will say Raps, and I'm totally fine with that. The new player Trap is Rap, R-H-A-P.
Rap.
Nope. Ends in an S.
Okay, so you're good with raps, because I never asked, actually, I realize. That happened very organically.
I also didn't necessarily ask before I was like, this series is now Raps and Teak, take a peek.
I think it's the right name. No, I'm super excited to be here. It's our ipso facto chronology of doing take a peek before this and then posting in the opposite order is creating some really lovely time warp moments, and I am super excited for people to see the new take a peek tomorrow in all of its grandeur.
It is going to be a damned good time.
Now I'm excited for Silent, and honestly I feel like it's going to be kind of a wind down.
It may well be. Yeah, the video
in the good
that's
sense,
coming out tomorrow.
in the like, it's a familiar place. You know what I mean? Like I'm going into Spire mode now.
Definitely. The video that is coming out tomorrow will be a marathon. So if you do have a favorite brew or maybe a favorite kind of coffee or some such, maybe a sleeve of biscuits would be a good time. Maybe a vat of popcorn. Maybe life insurance. I'm just thinking of all of the kinds of things that might come up over the course of the video.
There are several things you may need. You should write a will.
Of course.
You may want to contact your next of kin in advance.
You might want to also, in that will and final testament, I'm going to want you to possibly put a line in there that should you pass before the end of the video, which would is an absolute tragedy. But a clause that means that in order to get your allotments, your descendants are going to have to finish the video themselves. Because look, it's the watch time. Please.
Yeah. The cliff where every viewer spontaneously dies when we play the ring sequence right in the middle. Yeah.
That's a good time. No one's going to expect... Oh, damn! We said the ring sequence in the middle. Oh! You got us again!
Oh, man. They'll never see that one
these
coming.
Days. We have three kind of spicy... Actually, you know what? Three very spicy options here. We got the obtain a random rare card. We've got the enemies in S3 combats have 1 HP, dependent on the map. That could be particularly spicy. And take 18 to transform 2 cards.
I love transform. Particularly right now, when Silence Commons pool is so much spicier than it has been. But you know what else I like? Sniping that empowered elite. I also like that.
That's definitely the two that were coming to mind most commonly there. Obtain a random rare card got less bad or increased in average value for the Silent over the course of the last patches, especially with the change to double damage on the next turn.
Phantasmal Killer.
There we go. Thank you. I can only remember it as PK.
To play. PK. Player killing. Yeah.
There is a world where we get that, right? It's 20% chance here to fight an enemy, 30% chance here,
30,
assuming we didn't, so 30-40, so... It's not
I know, this is
unlikely.
where, like, how good is your probabilistic intuition, right? It's always so difficult. 80% and 30. 30 of 88, 16, 24, 24, 44. No, 30% of the fight. Okay, so 20% of the time you've had a fight. The other 80% of the time, now 24% of the time you have a fight, 44, and then the next, you're at, what, 56% chance to have not had any fights, and you now have a 40% chance. So it's like unlikely that we miss a fight. It's like 2/3 of the time we're getting a fight in there. And honestly, we can take just transform to defense. Isn't it funny how hard it is to think about basic probability? Like, that's not a very difficult probability question. And I almost opened a hypergeometric probability calculator because our brains are just like not good at conceptualizing that space.
They're absolute garbage at it, especially because that was just like, okay, here is something that is a 20% chance. We know that. 20, 2 out of 10.
I've got it. 1 out of 5. Yeah, okay.
But then consequentially afterwards, there's a 30% chance. Okay.
So where are we at?
How do you multiply
And you
percentages
start fragmenting
again?
spaces. Get a 20. Do this and then fragment more spaces. Honestly, here I think I would take transform 2 and path through the merchant on the right.
Ooh, even pathing through the merchant. Yeah, of course, because we're transforming without losing the gold. That could be quite good. We also have the rest before the empowered elite and then the rest after the empowered elite. We have a path that we could cut out to the left here to try and get another elite and another elite, but that is a lot of question marks. 3 in the late stage of the act.
Yeah, but we will have gotten the core. This is where I transform is so good. The problem with taking lots of events is that you won't see enough cards. So what if you see more cards? And what if you get more free removals in cards and go to merchants and stuff, right? So that's the thing that allows us to take less fights in this act.
I also think it's going to be the double defend here.
Yes, with silent always. This is the other reason why we like generating cards, is that every chance that we can get Wraith Form increases our chance of winning the run, like, substantially. It's pretty sweet, dude.
Our silent transforms are berserk.
They are. They're only rares, which is uncommon.
No, it's rare.
Oh.
You just said so.
Right.
Oh my god. We take the least damage by using Wraith Form.
I guess it's time to not die.
I've had a lot of fights recently where the Louse have both attacked on turn 1 and turn 2, and it's just rude. It's so rude.
And you take so much damage, and it's like shocking how much damage you take. Let's take a Piercing Whale.
Yeah,
We've got Hexaghost at the end of the act. We drop 2 defends. We need like 1 other card to block with other than Wraith Form, and that's a pretty good one.
Ooh. Get a legitimate PK online. We do have a strike, so we know it's going to return at least the amount of damage we're lacking by playing it.
And it might just win.
There's still 3 strikes in the draw.
This is a fun one, the math.
Would have worked.
I think the decision was reasonable, though. I think that decision was reasonable, though.
I think making decisions is quite reasonable, though.
Making decisions is reasonable, though. It's a gravestone. Did you see any of my one-shot playthrough? The game is funny.
I did not, because I suspect I may play it in the future.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy.
This is not me warding you off of hinting at any point or spoiling at anything. That's fine.
It's all good. I think I take Acro here, actually. It's not immediately better. Like, this is not the time to take it, but because this is Ascension 6, we can afford to take draw early. The backflip is going to be largely irrelevant other than me getting to go phew whoop every time we play it. We already have a Piercing Whale and a Wraith Form. It is our objective, I think, at Ascension 6 to just get to those cards on the right turn. And so Acrobatics is the way to do that. And to find damage. And so, like, we're going to pick up 1 damage card, right? We're going to go to this merchant. We're going to buy the whatever, the Corpse Explosion. We need to get to it.
I'm just looking at the balance of the deck right now, and I'm like, we have 5 strikes and a single neutralize, a single copy of Phantasmal Killer, but no like likelihood of drawing a bunch of damage after that.
We haven't seen a single damage card.
We're really pinning our hopes on this merchant having something good.
Two
The damage.
guaranteed damage cards in the merchant, 2 guaranteed attacks, right? And skills are fairly high damage for silent. It's not anything else we can do anyway, right? And there's the glass knife, and like that's incredible. And a blade dance. It's like the best damage package we could ask for.
I think we just click those two and then move on.
I think so.
I think it's got to be an upgrade on the glass knife as well. Ooh, lose the fairy in the bottle. Can't. If we lose the glass knife, we will also lose the fairy in a bottle in one of the elite fights.
It's possible that this is leave. Fairy in a bottle might be worth more on the left path. It might be worth a relic.
The thing is, we do have the ability to duck out after this elite, or even before this elite, getting an extra rest for a lot of upgrade debt. Phantasmal Killer, Wraith Form, Glass Knife, Blade Dance.
Is this maximum elites?
Oh! God, it is, isn't it?
We're in.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that this allows us to take 2 upgrades, like skipping this, attacking Ranwood, which does feel so bad.
I'm so
Lets
sorry,
us upgrade. I actually think we upgrade Glass Knife before the Wraith Form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Especially with well-laid plans, you know, we Phantasmal Killer that, and that's how we win. Dang.
Yeah, I know.
It's
not being able to hold the
tough.
Wraith Form. Sorry, the Glass Knife or Wraith Form.
That's okay. We'll just skip the turn. I mean, we can Phantasmal Killer and move on.
There you go, Phantasmal Killer.
Part of me thinks that we fill the deck with blade, you know, like with shivs, right? But I think we should try to get the well-laid plans online. Gosh. Do you want to do 36 damage?
I like 36 damage, but also the enemy does have 12 Metallicized, so it is the 24 through it. They're going to have the 4 Metallicized when they stand up instead. Gives us an extra turn to get well-laid plans online. I don't know. I kind of want to wait.
Okay.
Do 0 damage to the enemy this turn. Hold a strike?
Yeah, I think so. We're blocking this fight with Wraith Form, effectively. But we might not get to this turn, depending on... Yeah.
Definitely not this turn.
So, this is a funny position. Because... I think we have to aggro here.
Looking for neutralize defense?
We don't do enough damage in this fight. Like we have to actually take advantage of Phantasmal Killer.
Yes.
And so if we can get to it this turn, that's better. I guess the alternative is we hold Glass Knife, we just Survivor Blade Dance Strike, and next turn we're likely to see the Phantasmal and or the Wraith Form. Are we taking all the hits? Like, what are we doing with Wraith Form, right? Our energy's in a weird place.
So, in my mind, how we deal with this is we Glass Knife, we Blade Dance, and we Survivor. We defend for the 8 this turn. Glass Knife goes into the next cycle with 10 2 times. Our next draw, we hold the Acrobatics. Our next draw either draws into Wraith Form, or it doesn't, and we're a bit sad. The problem is next turn we can't play Wraith Form and Phantasmal Killer at the same turn, so if we're holding the Glass Knife and we're trying to use the Wraith Form to block for the next turn, we're then locking the Glass Knife out entirely from this cycle, so why not just use the 24 damage and get it back later?
Okay, I like it. We're so funny. We're like 2 upgrades away from being really confident in these fights. We're close. I'm certainly glad that we kept the fairy.
So we do pop the Wraith Form and then hold the Phantasmal Killer. Yes?
Acro?
No?
Acro gives us guaranteed neutralize. And then our recycle is better.
Oh, are we holding the Wraith Form for the next cycle of attacks?
That's the consideration. Walking back to it. What we would do here is we would go acro, neutralize, defend, and then or even Acro, Neutralize, Defend, Phantasmal. We're going to draw into good damage because of this Acro. And then we'll get back to Wraith form in 2 turns.
I like it.
We do have to win, and we still have 80 damage to do, and we're about to get debuffed. So we've got work to do. Defend is better than Piercing Well. That's funny. That's cute.
Mm-hmm. Weird because of the reduction of the enemy's damage by a percentage there. And then we're not holding... Wait, are we holding this, or are we holding a strike instead?
We can hold it now. We can hold the Wraith form now to guarantee the next cycle, should we need to take a couple hits. Yeah.
Okay.
Because our draw here is going to be very dense.
That's
Brutal fight. This was certainly the scariest. It's like just over the threshold of damage, really. These shivs do too.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy is metallicized as like, yeah. Where is this Phantasmal Killer? It's time. Come back.
It's okay. It's just gonna be the Glass Knife finishes them off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
GG.
GG. White Beast statue. Nice. Ooh. We want a dense ass damage card here?
Yeah. I don't want to take another, but we do need to take this skewer.
We have so much upgrade depth, but we have to rest.
I don't think so, man. I think we upgrade it. I think we upgrade the skewer.
I do not need to be convinced. Spicy.
Yeah, that's good. And safe. Okay. No, this is okay, though. Because check it out. Glass Knife straight up kills the 24 health, and Blade Dance is 12 damage, plus a strike gets us to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to go shiv, 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 neutralize to kill one, and then just block the other, and full block the rest of the fight? That's better. That's better.
Shiv, 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 neutralize doesn't kill anyone on board. Oh, you mean hit the backline and then Survivor instead?
No, I guess it would be shiv, 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 neutralize the Signpost Gremlin, and then Survivor for a full block. And then they're 1 hit away from being dead.
What if we just send these shivs on the backline now? Because it's going to be defending someone else for a giant amount next
that's
time
a good
anyway.
Point. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. It's bad breakpoints.
It's weird to have to be
Gremlin.
this careful already, but we are really in a spooky situation.
I mean, look, the fairy in the bottle is the reason that I'm more comfortable in this spook.
White Beast statue was honestly a huge drop. Huge drop. Because potions fix your deck. Particularly right now.
We don't need to take another damage. Just block 5 every single turn until we blow the enemy out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't our Glass Knife just an insta-kill?
Mm-hmm. So is Skewer.
Boop.
Expertise, heal hook, prepared. Nothing here, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. Not before Gremlin. Oh, we have Well-Laid Phantasmal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like definitively the play, right? Because then we hold Skewer, and that's 1 guaranteed kill.
Mm-hmm. We can reduce the incoming damage by 6 by neutralizing the midline and then piercing whale it off.
And then piercing whale. Smart. I like that turn a lot. It's so weird to have this Wraith form and to not get any utility out of it yet, basically. But you know, its time will come. We're at this weird part of the game to where the enemies aren't hitting hard enough yet for it to be worth its cost, which is super weird. Because it becomes like the densest block card in the game very quickly. But right now, we need those 3 energy to do other things, like Glass Knife the back sentry to death and then Skewer the front one.
Okay, we're definitely drawing
Wraith
enough
form.
defense in the next hand so we can play the Blade Dance here instead.
Wicked fight.
Truly the best of all worlds available there for us. We ended up taking the 4 on turn 1, but there's no more. It's not going to happen.
It's a testament to how strong well-laid plans is that it used to cost 0 and it costs 1, and we still pick it like always, and we just click on it every time we draw it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to think about it very much. You know that playing the card is going to give you utility.
Yep. Especially in this deck with, you know, next turn, this is for a certain amount of turns. These obviously want to be set up by the Phantasmal Killer. It's like it's got utility in every deck, but it's also got the extra added kind of turn play that we have to play around right now. We've got the Concentrate Bane Flying Knee. Not super jazzed about any of these. If we didn't have Skewer...
It's like slightly tempting.
Ooh.
Actually, Flying Knee. Flying Knee because of Skewer and Wraith form is tempting to me. And Acro.
I could see a Flying Knee as just another attack.
Yeah. And this is pre... It would be good in Gremlin Nom. It would be good in Lagavulin. We should take Flying Knee. I think this is a card that we won't be super upset to have. Do you ever bottle like the Skewer or imagine a world where we pick up Akabeko. Is that good? What about like Lantern, Ancient Tea Set?
Lantern and Ancient Tea Set do point towards Skewer. Although, at the start of a boss fight, on turn 1, do you want to blow them up for a bunch of damage? You do, oftentimes. But a lot of the time, you also want to work other effects near the edges. Obviously, set your deck up a little bit, well-laid, draw some cards. Perhaps a kind of middle ground there is putting Glass Knife in the opening hand. The ability to just try and delete the enemy.
Glass Knife is a great opening card. Yeah.
And also only demands 1 energy of you. You definitely have the rest of it available to you.
It's weird, like having Phantasmal Killer makes me not want to bottle these effects, because what I really want is to bottle Phantasmal Killer and play them on turn 2, right? But basically I'm trying to figure out which card of 7 is going to save us the most life to just always have on turn 1. And certainly, right now, it's Glass Knife. Because we'll kill most of the basic minion enemies for the next couple acts. It should be Whirlwind.
It should be, but sadly they only gave that to one of the classes.
Ridiculous.
This Speed Potion with that Ancient Potion is not tempting, but the Liquid Bronze is very good in the Hexaghost and is very useful. Maybe we even drop the Ancient for the Speed Potion, but Ancient has good effects next floor, prevents the Hex, prevents confusion.
Yeah, but we have to survive this floor, right?
That's true.
And Chosen dies to our having big attacks. That's one upside of the build we have right now, is that it does have big attacks. Wow! Hold up.
Hold up.
Grab the wall. Is this...
I don't want to get rid of it, but I think it is. We're both talking about PK right now, aren't we?
Yeah. I worry what that does to our damage output, but at the same time, our front load is just big enough right now, isn't it? Like, we solved Lagavulin. We couldn't get rid of this if we hadn't picked up Skewer Plus and Glass Knife Plus, but we did.
But it makes it also so much less likely we want to remove this. If only we'd taken the Concentrate instead of the Flying Knee, I'd happily remove it now for the full heal.
Yeah, no lie. No lie. And just take a full heal. Yeah.
So, Hexaghost's damage on turn 2 is obviously going to scale to our current HP, right? So if we heal up full and then we go through an Elite and we don't take a huge amount of damage and then we go on to the Hexaghost is still going to be hitting us hard on that turn, and then Wraith Form / Neutralize become a lot more important. Whereas right now we could probably just defend it with like individual defense.
Yeah, we have Piercing Wail too.
Piercing Wail is also very, very likely in that circumstance.
Is there a chance this is ever just a strike removal?
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Because PK really it could represent a ton of damage for us over time. And it might be like the way that we're able to kill things.
Exactly, and we do have the fairy in a bottle. We're gonna have to race the Hexaghost. 250 HP on the Hexaghost.
Is a ton.
Skewer for 20 likely on the turn that we play it, because we've probably got to defend. The glass knives that get less impactful over the time, I think it's a strike removal.
Or is it defend removal?
It's so bold. Maybe if no, it's strike. The flying knee pushes it to be strike.
Dude, we're dumping a strike. 13 life, elite in a fight, final destination, disappointing, they claim. Disappointing. Ooh. Ooh. Oh no, wait. It's all of our big effects.
It is.
That's awkward. So, like, do you ever acro for the chance of the blade? No,
3 in 11? Oh, that feels bad. But I did think about it instantly as well, right? Hold the glass knife, play the phantasmal killer. I think it just has to be glass knife, blade dance. Or glass knife, flying... No, glass knife, blade dance, phantasmal. We're probably popping the potion this fight.
Which one?
Oh, I mean, it'll pop itself.
That one.
The one that
news
won't
is
give us a
that
choice.
gets us through two hits. Unless they actually do the vulnerable on the first hit, which it can do.
I mean, if they do the vulnerable on the first hit, they're going to underkill us, and then they overkill us the turn
That's
after,
true.
and then so it still buys us extra turns.
Yeah. Okay. I tend to agree that that's the play.
Yep, there's the vulnerability.
Well laid, that's nice.
This one, this early, 6, this could still try and use the vulnerable 2 times in a row, right?
Yeah, it might be able to do it again, and then we might be able to speed potion and actually block it. We don't need to play the Thorns pot here, right?
No. No, it doesn't change our breakpoints. We have 12 damage left in the draw pile.
I don't think we block this turn, though. I do think we just hold, and there's a chance that we speed pot and triple block next turn. Or speed pot double block, 1 swing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they did it.
We should definitely block this.
15, that's 13 on us. We reduce 6, so it'd be that.
You don't want a speed pot?
Piercing Whale. No.
Oh, we just do the 2.
Yeah.
Take 1.
Hold strike.
That's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Yo, nice! We
Lost
lived.
on
Let's
it,
go,
man.
baby! Snecko Skull? Okay, well, I would take a Bouncing Flask. Sure. Sir!
Sorry, I'm just quickly inspecting the card for a second.
Yeah.
Okay,
What does it
okay.
say exactly?
And then this one says, okay. Why? Oh, I accidentally clicked it.
Oh, man. That's a bummer.
Dang.
I think we dropped the Speed Potion here.
Yeah,
the
the
energy
energy potion makes a lot of sense with the Nightmares. Everything else online.
What a circumstance. Who's gonna die? You's gonna die. Everybody's gonna die?
Eventually.
Oh, okay. Isn't it fun to do so much damage? I love it.
Ooh,
It's
first
cool how we're
offering of
getting all these
AoE.
potions and we're not using any of them, but it just like they've not been the right ones.
They have been like the fairy in a bottle made me a lot happier not removing PK here. Without the fairy in a bottle, I think PK goes. So they've had an impact regardless of not being played, interestingly.
So I'm gonna say something very carefully because I'm always seeking to guide the rhetoric as an influencer of the Slay the Spire world, right? Our card selection in this act has been incredible in the sense of a very small percentage of worlds exist in which these are the cards that we see. We've not seen a single source of poison in this entire act. Not that that's a guarantee, there's only a handful of cards, but we actually took quite a few fights in spite of the question marks being question marks. Like, how many of those question marks were actually events?
One event.
Fight.
We had Ranwood, we had the Offering. That's it.
That's it. So we took 3 easy pull fights, 2 hard pull fights, including Quad Gremlins and the Fungus and Friend. And we took 3 elites. Now, the cards in our deck are clearly incredible, right? We have a Wraith form, we have a Nightmare, but we have these like very end game block cards and deck scaling cards. But we haven't actually managed to create any damage scaling at all. And certainly our relics are not creating any damage scaling. So in spite of the fact that this run has been a statistical monster in terms of how ridiculously powerful our deck is on one axis, I'm actually really scared for it.
Yep.
This is like one of the hairiest starts that I think I could imagine for Silent. If it weren't for the fact that we picked up Glass Knife in the store and then picked up Skewer, we would have just died against the elites, I think. We found like exactly the right 2 front-loaded damage cards to survive that.
Yeah, especially because we had to barrel down the line of them. It just...
It's super spooky, man.
I can even see worlds where we did die to them, regardless of what we just had, with a slightly worse draw.
I think this deck needs like 1 Envenom. And to that end, I do wonder if there's space for a Dagger Spray. I don't think we need it. I think that I would much rather be sure that I draw Skewer Plus and Glass Knife Plus eagerly.
Is there ever a world where Tactician, it's unupgraded, which is rough, and we've got a lot of cards that we want to upgrade? It's true. We do have the Acrobatics and Well-Laid Plans that can hold on to it should it otherwise whiff. And the Survivor.
Yeah. And we are very energy hungry, and we have a Skewer. Gosh, I just wish it were upgraded. Because we just have all this upgrade debt, right? Like, Wraithform needs an upgrade. Blade Dance wants an upgrade. Well-Laid Plans wants an upgrade. Phantasmal Killer and Nightmare want upgrades, and those are energy upgrades. And if we're taking energy upgrades on cards, then do we take a energy card that needs an upgrade too?
No, you're right.
Right? Like, I think we're over-constrained.
My pitch for Dagger Spray still is just the AoE fights that exist next floor. A Phantasmal Killer setting that up is going to be enough damage to help us considerably in those.
It's true. Although, don't they just die like Tri-Sentries do?
Depends on the fight.
Basically the same.
It's the Gremlin Leader fight, I think, that I'm most scared of.
Gremlin Leader is an interesting one, and that's because it's like we need to keep the minions clear, but we also need to scale up this single target damage.
And if this is our tool for keeping the minions clear, how are we scaling up the single target?
Yeah, maybe we're not. Maybe the answer is by that point we have Nightmare Wraithform online, and we just be invincible, have enough sustain. This run's going to want bites.
I could happily take some bites, although I will say as well, with the Nightmare and Wraithform online, I'll happily take a Noxious Fumes. I'll happily take another Noxious Fumes.
Dude, I think we skip here. I think we skip here, and it's really the Thin Deck Daddy ideal, which is that the core of our deck is as powerful as I could imagine it being. We only want to draw Wraithform and Nightmare and Glass Knife. We just also want to add in one card that scales damage really well, and that's not Dagger Spray. It's probably going to be an Envenom, or it's going to be like a Corpse Explosion or something, and we just have that one card and we play it.
Something like that would be great. I'm 6 HP. I'm still behind the Wraithform.
Yeah.
As in, yes? Just...
I'm super scared of this fight in general, but this is, I think, our best hope.
I'm super scared of the fight. It's just I don't think resting considerably increases our ability.
Are we nightmaring Glass Knife?
Ooh, that's not bad. Yeah, I think we are. I think we're doing that. I think we're popping Liquid Bronze.
Can I see the draw?
Sure. So I think we're doing that. I think we're popping liquid bronze. I think we're also using the energy potion so that we can play well-laid plans and then the glass knife as well this turn. It's my instant read. I haven't really got like a huge amount of thinking behind it.
We can save the liquid bronze on that line because there's a chance that we'll just be able to win without it. By nightmaring glass knife here and playing well-laid plans, if we draw Phantasmal in the right place, then we can potentially just win straight up. Yeah, hold to defend. Although, do we even take any damage? Yes, it's the 1/6, right. From 0 to 11 is the 1/6.
Chop, 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 chop. Okay, yeah, I feel comfortable not using liquid bronze now.
I think we can actually do it, yeah. We just have to make sure that we Phantasmal with the right cards.
Or do we just save the skewer for the next turn, right? Unless literally... what? No matter what happens next turn, we have the defend on lock.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be able to Phantasmal and Flying Knee, hopefully.
There's the 6. No Phantasmal for us.
It's okay. We'll wait. I guess that means we defend Flying Skewer, right? And let it cycle.
Yep.
Hold
I like getting the damage out of it.
piercing.
Yeah, because the enemy has the by 2 that's... There we are. Yep, this is piercing, this is phantasmal, this is a single glass knife, a single flying knee. We hold this glass knife in hand.
Perfect. We still have 2 more in the deck, too. Boop, boop, boop. What an act, bro! Dude,
What an act.
I aged considerably in that act of Slay the Spire here at Ascension 6. But, like, honestly, we have some pieces to set up somewhere. Seriously, and a single Envenom right here goes a long way towards winning this run.
I didn't age during that act, but there is a portrait in my attic that's getting real crusty right now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just gonna instantly throw out my pitch. Bullet time.
Really?
Yep. My pitch is bullet time so that we hold that, right? The well-laid plans, I'm assuming this world is upgraded, right? We hold the first 2 of the cards we find. Bullet time, Nightmare, Bullet time, Wraithform, Nightmare. We wait for bullet time. We play bullet time, we play Nightmare, we play Wraithform, Nightmare on the Wraithform, we play the Wraithform, and then the next turn, we have bullet time cycling through the deck when we have 3 giant cost Wraithforms in there.
It does really solve the only real problem that we're having right now, right? Which is how do I afford to play the cards that make me invincible?
Mm-hmm. This accomplishes what we're already trying to accomplish, but from a different direction, and Burst is
not bad here.
It's not awful. I always kind of like Burst, but it's not incredible.
I like the bullet time plus. It makes it like very obvious that we take Snecko if and when it should drop. I think that's an incredible bullet time, and that's really cool to pick bullet time over Burst and Malaise.
All right, here is where I am going to close my eyes. We'll open the chest, and we'll see, or rather, you'll see what it's. Oh, are you gonna close your eyes? Or, okay.
No,
I'm gonna
watching.
try and hear from the reaction. I'm gonna try and figure out what the 3 relics are.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need you to embody as much as you can out of them. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's earthy. There's floral notes.
Earthy with
one.
floral notes.
Is that a? Oh, that's a very distinct flavor. Is that?
Okay, there is
Nice.
There's a runic dome in here.
Interesting. No. That's not the flavor. No, this is a. Yeah, I always forget what this is called. Even it's it's so infrequent to even find it in a pantry, but it's a star anise, is the name of this particular flavor.
Star anise. That's gonna be a black star then.
Yeah. But it's almost like I'm being held back from fully experiencing the flavor
Velvet
here.
Choco. Black Star Velvet Choco.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say corn chip.
Oh, interesting. No, there are no more earthly flavors from this point forward. It's somewhere beyond. It occurs to me that I have no idea what this thing actually is. I've always thought of it as some kind of cosmic instrument.
Yeah, I believe it is an instrument for some sort of astrological measurements.
It's some star thing, right? Yeah, because it has astro in the name, and it kind of looks like the tool of a cosmologist of some kind.
Yeah, I always picture it.
You know
as
what star anise is? Do you know this spice?
No, not particularly.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, it's called anise. It's one of these spices which just like every once in a while will pop up in some dish and you won't have it. And it is like a barky herb that's literally in the perfect shape of a star. And you just throw one in like sometimes to something, maybe your chai or something like that.
It's I think I just went like star, obviously that has a direct relation to that relic, but then I went anise, aniseed, licorice, black star. Because it's possible anise and aniseed are coming from a similar kind of etymological realm.
Yeah. Is star anise related to licorice? The licorice plant is an herbaceous perennial legume native to southern Europe and parts of Asia. It is not botanically related to anise, star anise, or fennel, which are sources of similar flavoring compounds.
Convergent evolution.
Convergent evolution, baby. Yeah, that's right. Ooh. Okay, what are we taking here?
That's a great question, isn't it? It's I'm gonna say. Let me think about this for a moment. I'm gonna say it's astrolabe. I'm gonna say it's probably astrolabe because I was given no other choice. There are so few, or rather there are fewer whiffs with astrolabe at the moment when we already have kind of like the strike damage accounted for and then some in the Phantasmal Killer, the Glass Knife, the Skewer, the possibility of using the Nightmare to get extra of those. It just...
Velvet Choker is legit.
Right. The problem I have with Velvet Choker is just the limitation on how bad our bullet time turns can get for the enemies.
Yep. And we want to be able to pop off.
I do think it's Astrolabe.
I wish I thought that we could survive Black Star, but I don't think Black Star is the pick here. I think our deck needs to improve.
I don't either. No. Like if we had a Noxious Fumes right now, I would click the Black Star.
Yeah, we need like one thing, right? Yeah.
We don't.
So here's the question. What cards are we going to transform?
I think it's Double Strike Defend.
Do you ever double defend strike?
Teak!
We do have a white bee statue.
Teak, how do we defend when we're not playing Raceform yet?
Defend is not an efficient card.
No.
It's just not. It's not really not. And
I will say though,
and it's a great question. How do we deal with hemorrhaging?
It gives us infinite % more block than well, I was about to say neutralize, but that's not actually true. Than Blade Dance, than Flying Knee, than Skewer, Last Night. Most of the cards in our deck.
It's true, and when we're not busy using our turns to kill everything or play Wraith Form, then we can block for 5. And in some runs, your defense become very good as silent because you like pick up a couple footwork, and all of a sudden it's actually a good card, right?
I'll click one of each, and then we can figure out where the final one is gonna go.
Here's the thing that pushes me actually towards double defend. If we get the Bites event, we're gonna take it.
Sorry about that. My house decided to not have power anymore, and that's really not good for recording. But thankfully everything's recoverable, so we're back here ready to. Oh my God! There's an Astrolabe. I don't know. Am I gonna edit out when we opened it the first time?
Oh yeah, we got all of the us walking through it. Wow. Okay.
All right. So it's that kind of deck.
Okay. We can produce infinite copies of anything.
Yep.
Provided we have the energy to do so. You know what really works with infinite wraith forms, but I'm hemorrhaging damage, is bandage. Actually, a surprisingly effective tool in this deck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like worth its weight in gold.
May even be available in the first shop. Unfortunately, we are limited on our path choices by the Max Elite.
Oh,
It is
God.
literally just this.
It's gonna kill us. Holy crap.
Skosh of a chance. We do have the duplication potion. We do
And
have
we still
fairy
have
in
the
a
fairy.
bottle.
That's right. That's right.
Are we going?
We better take some
to
fights,
fight,
dog.
question mark? Yeah.
Oh, but we kind of want some bites. Well, we got to take at least 2. Yeah. When do we get backstab? Oh, we got that from the Astrolabe? That's nice.
So it was the backstab, it was calculated gamble, and nightmare.
Okay.
Where are our pickups there? We
So-
can well laid to hold this glass knife in hand and then just defend, or
Nightmare it?
survivor and then phantasmal. We end up taking 4 damage, but we have the ability to glass knife for.
We can bring one down this turn.
48. We can bring one down to the ground this turn, but it is using the glass knife with that. I mean, I'm fine with that. We could also just survivor defend, pop the liquid bronze, because we are getting a potion after every single fight.
Actually, that's the play, isn't it? Survivor
think it is.
defend, liquid bronze, let him die, get a potion. Play well laid. And like backstab the back line and hold a glass knife or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Smart. This game is so contextual, it's funny. It's like, we don't realize how fine-tuned of machinery we've developed over thousands of hours of play to like incrementally build up this vision of the world. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. This is probably fine.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is fine, I'm sure.
The glass knife needs to put someone on the ground. 2 strikes will not take that target out.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. This is brutal. It's unlucky. But we don't have to take that much damage at least. I mean, the middle one is dying to thorns fairly quickly without doing ridiculous amounts of damage to us.
This is 5 times.
We can bring down the back line, should we choose to. And we can bullet time. We should bullet time this turn because then we just nightmare glass knife and that's solved next turn.
Yes, it does. It's just this turn, the maximum damage we can avoid is 15 and 1,
Actually,
so 16 total.
Yeah.
Out of the incoming.
2. Yeah.
Ouch.
This is going to be our problem. But we'll find an answer to it.
I didn't even nightmare.
Just nightmare the skewer. You're going to need 3.
Oh, that's fair enough. Guess I'm gonna need 3. Sorry, 4. We'll hold this one.
We're going to need 4.
Thankfully, it really doesn't matter what card we use here. It's over. You go down, you die too.
Attack potion. Another backstab.
Another backstab. 2 backstabs and a glass knife in the opening hand. Plus 4 other cards. That's a lot.
I'm actually tempted by this extra aggro.
Calculated
Like, getting
Gamble's some
well-laid
good draw
plans.
power here too.
Oh yeah, we do have that. Yeah.
I'm kind of more in the realm of skipping.
Okay. I like the skip too. This enemy dies.
This enemy does
2
dies. They also deals damage though.
Well, maybe that attack potion is a dash.
Maybe it is a dash. Wasn't it dash? It was a grand finale though.
I think that was the right pick.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
quite sure of it.
too many others. Strike, Nightmare, Wraith Form. They're just Wraith Form, Wraith Form, Wraith Form.
We don't even have to nightmare it. I think we just well-laid plans and play it, and then win. Win with our cards.
It's such a novel idea.
How are we doing this one? Calculate. Wait and do it next turn.
Yep. Rude. Rude.
So rude. No, Blade Dance is good. That's victory.
Exactly, but it's still rude. Dex Potion, Piercing Whale upgraded as well as Dagger Spray upgraded. One of those two.
Wow.
I think it's probably Piercing Whale in my estimation right now.
I think so too.
It's just so good
As
against
much as
all
I
of the
want the
elites.
Dagger Spray. Dude, I think it's events. I think I was wrong. I think this is events over fight. Hey!
Best of
This
both
is my
worlds.
favorite event.
Okay. Do we Nightmare the Glass Knife here?
Yeah, bullet time, Phantasmal, win next turn. Sounds pretty good. I suspect that was a strong line that we've drawn.
Around about where all of the enemies died, I started to suspect we had a pretty good line set up there. This Fear Potion is not nothing. Turn 1, amplifying the extra damage from our Backstab and our Glass Knife could be huge. It might even be a lot better than the Dex Potion, considering how few block cards we actually have.
Certainly better than the Dex Potion. Do we have like a survivor? It's here! No, it's a Bouncing Flask! It's got to be the Bouncing Flask with Snecko. This is exactly what we're missing.
And it's not the Crippling Cloud because it's unupgraded and because we don't want to weaken enemies or don't necessarily care about weakening enemies when we're going to be playing Wraithform.
Particularly because the thing that we are bad at right now is scaling single target and boss damage. And 16 poison is the way to do that. Crippling Cloud is incredible. And I think if it were upgraded, it might just be enough. It might just push me over. But particularly with this Neko Skull, I think I click on this Bouncing Flask every time.
The Collector
That's a winning line.
Yeah, it's just the Collector is not going to necessarily be super keen on us doing that. But
Yeah, but we just need to go in with like 15 life and Nightmare Wraith form.
That's a good point. I'll plan around doing that. We'll plan around doing that. It's going to happen. And then
It's got to be the line.
I love how often that's happening.
Me too. This is why we skipped some stuff.
Maybe if the outmaneuver was pre-upgraded, we'd consider it.
Are you looking at this Deflect Plus, though, at all, or is that just, like, pure bait?
I'm not looking at it.
Right.
It's a 0 cost, fits in amongst all the other 3 costs a lot of the time.
Right now, we probably do need to take it, as much as I really don't want to, because we're just a couple relics away from being super glad that our deck is only Wraith form and Crippling or Bouncing Flask. Oh, is this a question mark?
No, this is actually the shop itself.
Okay.
This is half bandages. Half unupgraded
sure
bandages,
is.
at least.
And it makes the bites free if that were to come about. Gremlin Horn is also nice.
Gremlin Horn is definitely nice here. Especially with the glass knives and the skewers, a lot of the time you will be able to chain after killing a single target and then find a way to defend afterwards or some such.
Super strong against elites in this act. But we're tempted by Blood Vial card remove, right? Blood Vial strike remove.
Mm-hmm.
It's really solid.
It's the line I want.
Okay.
In fact, it's... Yeah, I think it's just the line we go for.
Actually, I think that was defend out. In hindsight. Hindsight being as it is, 2020. Do we take
a dash?
I don't think that's a purchase. Second well laid. Bankroll. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a draft if maybe dash would be a draft if we saw it, rather. Okay. Neutralize feels like it almost certainly goes on the back line.
We certainly want to kill the front line.
Yes.
Oh, we have a vulnerable potion here too.
Mm-hmm.
If we deem...
We can just amp that for the kill this turn if we desperately want to.
Yeah, because what I'm trying to figure out is what's the line by which we get to land this bouncing flask on the back line. That's the easiest route for winning. And I guess that would be Vuln Pot the front to die to backstab, Glass Knife the second, neutralize bouncing flask. Take 12 damage, and then but win.
Yeah, because we have a free turn after that. It's just, we don't need to dupe pot the bouncing flask to get enough speed through this fight, do we?
Mm-mm.
No.
And in fact, there's a consideration that we don't need a bouncing flask and we should Survivor, because once we start playing Wraith form, maybe we can take less than 12, but I don't think so. This fight gets aggressive quickly. I think we'll be really, really happy to have that guarantee that that Gremlin leader is going to die. It's just a matter of finishing it.
Mm-hmm. The phrasing I would always use was inevitability.
Mm-hmm.
This fight is going to end at some point.
Do you want to Nightmare nothing? I was thinking about Nightmaring Deflect. Just skewer this turn and call it good.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure that we get to Wraith form. That was the big thing I was worried about, but hopefully we will.
There's the Wraith form.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, and we got Piercing Whale, actually. So we don't have to Wraith form. Piercing, Phantasmal. Defend.
And then we are weakened this turn. So the strike will be 8 damage. Yeah. What are we doing next turn in that world?
Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? Maybe this is just Wraith and take our additional lumps.
I mean, if we're being also weakened by the fat gremlin, when are we finishing off the gremlin leader in the next 3 turns?
Well, the poison is already
14, 13, 12.
Mm-hmm.
14, 13, 12, 27, 39. You still have a 50, 41, 40, 42.
Sure. We can do that in 3 turns. We have enough front-loaded damage in the deck to do that in 3 turns.
Whilst weakened? And the next turn does no damage?
Yeah. What's your alternative line? This is very solvable for our deck. It'll happen all at once, and it'll be like Nightmared Glass Knives in 2 turns.
Okay.
We have the
I don't know. I'm trying not to necessarily be needlessly skeptical about it, but I'm just looking at that. I'm like, you'll look dangerous.
It's 100% spooky. Yeah. Ooh. So is this? Ew. Are we holding bullet time?
Are we, or was it Nightmare?
I don't really know the answer to this one. I mean, we're redrawing, right? We're at the bottom of our deck. So it's just whatever we need to be in our hand next turn. Which I'm leaning towards playing out the Piercing Whale and holding bullet. But I'm not sure that that's correct.
Piercing Whale would save us 1 damage here. It's not nothing, and it also doesn't go into the new cycle, so it's good for that draw.
Yeah. I think either of those lines wins.
I think this gives us the ability to bail out should we draw a damage card.
More reach. Yeah. Have them both. Oh, it turns good.
We're not gonna... No, we still will be weakened next turn.
Is this actually dupe Flying Knee? I don't think so, right? Does Blade Dance get the kill? We'll be weak 3, 6, 9. Yeah, so it's slightly more damage. That should just be victory.
Yep. That'll close that out.
GG.
GG.
Gosh, man.
Whew.
We could use some Relic right here. It's a Relic. It's good.
It's
actually.
a hell of a relic.
It's real good. With our bottled goodies.
Do we ever put another backstab in now?
I think we might. Our first hand is 3 attack cards. We're staying left.
We gotta.
Yo!
All our strikes and defends.
It's
All
remove a defend.
3 of them.
It's literally just remove a defend. It's just cut the defend. It's out.
I'll do it, Teak, but I'm mad about it. I want you to know I'm mad about it. Okay.
Are we duping this glass knife in this fight?
Outgoing is 36 by it. The duped version is a different copy, right?
Mm-hmm. So they'll both do the full 36.
36, 36, 16, so 36, 36, 72, 16, 88, 22, 110. And then we PK as well, I imagine, trying to set up for the next turn. Or maybe what we do is, because we're using PK, we hold the duplication potion for whatever we end up casting next turn. No, but it's never going to end up matching that damage unless it's specifically skewer.
Yep, because we have the vulnerable right now. Our draw, our draw gets a lot smaller after this.
I also want to throw that.
My big worry is ooh, well, just use it. GG. Now all we have to do is play Bouncing Flask and survive.
Or not.
Yeah. Game. It's cool when strike is the kill. Shuriken. That's actually pretty cool.
It's a strength on turn 1 and every time we play Blade Dance as well.
Yep. That's Outmaneuver Plus. You talked about this.
I did talked about this. I think bullet time is all the energy cheat we use.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even think we want this flechettes. I think this is just skip. And we take 1 more elite now. 8 life. It's plenty. Ceramic fish. Oh boy. Nothing says contribute into battle like a fish.
This could be the key. I know we're halfway through the game. We've got these cards that have high density in their value. We're not going to want to add too many more cards to this deck.
It's true.
It feels
that
like...
Key... I think this is a key. I think you're right. I think any other relic is worth the 45 gold that we would have gained. Hold up. There's a Wraith form in this hand.
There is.
Do we ever like... Oh, color. How often is colorless giving us energy? It's not.
So it won't.
It could give us secret technique, which would get us bullet time, which would give us energy.
True. However, it could also just give us Hand of Greed.
Yeah, and then we'll just get money out of these nerds.
Dunk a nerd instantly.
I think we do use the colorless potion here.
I agree.
I'm feeling confident in that. Apotheosis is energy.
It is, isn't it?
Actually, I think this apotheosis is just good.
Is there ever a world we play the Blade Dance before the apotheosis? No, because are we specifically using the Wraith form this turn? Definitely.
I feel like apotheosis... Gosh, this is weird, right? Because we can really kill some stuff this turn. That's our only Wraith form, though. We have to play it, don't we?
I think we do, but I am mad about it. If it helps at all.
But then that means we just... That means we just apotheosis Wraith form calculated gamble. Because we want to cycle the deck back to these cards. Oh, we can backstab too.
Yeah, double backstab at the
Obviously.
absolute least. 22, so 44. We have the ability to try and get a target pretty close. I'm encouraged to use the Wraith form, considering the Slaver in the front is not weakening, the Slaver in the back is not making us vulnerable.
Yeah.
There was a micro stutter in my PC there, and I was like, it's happening again. You can see.
We're going offline. It's like, I regret to inform you that due to the colossal asteroid that just impacted Earth, the video this week will be canceled. It's like, oh man. Do better next time we get hit by an asteroid.
Exactly. Take the whole Earth out.
Do better. Ooh, Phantasmal Killer here for free? What are you nightmaring?
Phantasmal is... I don't think we're nightmaring anything.
You're
I think I just survived.
You're just surviving? Okay. Then maybe there was a world where since we were playing Phantasmal, we nightmared the flying knee the previous turn. Well, now it doesn't matter, because we just skewer... I think we skewer the middle. Oh, are you going to get the strike? Are you going to get the shuriken online? Is that your...
No, I was just going to strike 2 times on the middle, and then I was skewer kill the front line with the 40 damage for the 2x.
That works. I like that.
It's largely because this task, like this one's going to be weakening us if it survives this turn. The Taskmaster in the middle, we can control their damage a lot more easily than the frontliner.
Yeah, no, my path was only trying to like do some micro around wounds, but it's not going to matter as much. Maybe it would have.
Would have.
We knew we wouldn't die to this, so I think your play's still correct. Even though it was less likely we would have that turn if we killed the middle, if we did have that turn, we die to the front. It's nice that we're able to die. That's a huge drop. That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly
I was
gonna
say, like, we have to take the key here because next floor, I guarantee it, that chest is gonna have the mummified head. I'm glad to have been wrong. Dagger Spray now does carry double from Shuriken. Acro's also
but
a little bit better.
We've got it covered. The best Dagger Spray is Blade Dance.
Questos?
Question marks? Bites. Thwack. Merchants. Whoa. Beefy boy.
Jeez,
oh man,
crazy.
It's really good.
Everything's good.
You gotta buy the membership card, even though it loses us the incense burner. I think you do. Because I think that the best card in this store is actually Adrenaline.
Mm-hmm. It is very good. It is very, very good. Do we have the ability to go membership card, Adrenaline, and Noxious Fumes? Yes, we do.
Or membership Adrenaline card remove, even.
You don't want to include a Noxious Fumes in here? A power? As well as the Snecko skull, meaning it's already upgraded?
No. I quite like the Noxious Fumes because it's guaranteed scaling in a deck that has infinite block. Absolutely. Let's calculate where we are, right? So we're 121 off of 258, so we'll have 137 left. Mm-hmm. The Adrenaline will be 64. The card removal will be 40. And the Noxious Fumes will be 29, so we can afford it all.
Perfect. No, Dark Shackle is we have the Wraith forms. No, normally still.
We can't quite afford it all, yeah. I realized it right afterwards that I was like 7 off or something.
That's okay.
But I'm still happy with this.
Yeah, I clicked those in the order that I wanted them as well. Mm-hmm. As much as I do love card removal, I just Snecko and Mummified says Noxious.
Yeah.
Hell, yeah, Nightmare says Noxious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real scaling. Serplant! Can we kill it?
Uh, 22 minus 3, 19. 16 minus 4, 12 on 19, 31.
If we can't kill it, we just Nightmare the Glass Knife, and then we win next turn.
Yes. And then... It's 31, 7, 30... It's 68.
It's...
Just short. That's fine.
Just stab it.
Yeah, just short. And that is Nightmare Glass Knife. Just do it next turn, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Even with the weaken, we should be fine.
I mean, certainly
lacking-
malleable is a pain. Yo, piercing whale plus, baby. Hit this.
That didn't work. Thankfully, with piercing whale, we didn't have to care.
I knew we had a way out. Yo.
That's 5 poison. It's also another card, and we've just said that we don't want cards.
I really don't think we want this card. I do really like this regen potion, right? Like, it's actually relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But are we just going to go rest and then fight a fight?
I think the regen potion might be able to buy us one of these as an upgrade rather than trying to rest or anything.
So then do we go fight question mark? Is 4 health enough for us to take a fight in a question mark?
Yes, but I do like I still want the other nightmare upgraded. I still want the bullet time upgraded. It was a lower priority, but it gives us the ability to acrobatics our way into it.
We don't need those upgraded if we get Snecko Eye. That's for sure. And that would be one of the best things I could imagine happening for us.
That is true.
This deck sings with Snecko Eye.
Adrenaline's not a bad upgrade right now. In fact, it's an incredibly good one. Hit that with a nightmare, have a ridiculous turn the turn after.
That's game. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And then are we going for these for the double upgrade or 1 upgrade, 1 rest?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we go here, and I think we upgrade, and I think we plan to pop the regen potion in the fight. And we hope that we just don't die on turn 1 to Shelled Parasite and Friend. So maybe we rest now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because
we rest now, or I'm not going to want to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Shelled Parasite and Friend.
Ah! And they're trying to kill us on turn 1, isn't that? Why? Wraith form! Why are you always here?
Wraith form?
Wait, hang on, that's good.
The Wraith form being bottled has been great for us. I'm very into it.
So again, that's the 36, and then 22 on 36.
Oh, are you just going for lethal?
I'm seeing the possibility.
Then in that case...
36, 58, and then 16 is 64, 74. It's short.
74 out of a neat... Oh, but then, yeah, not quite with the Bouncing Flask.
Just not
Which
quite.
means this is probably just Wraith.
Mm-hmm. And then that would be
Let's see what it
backstab the
hits.
back line to death.
Well, we're going to get another free card, too.
That's true. Ideal.
Oh. Oh. Oh, baby.
Even more
Is this-
ideal.
Is this not backstab the back line, actually? Because the Noxious Fumes... I think we're actually damaging the Shelled Parasite here. Get 2
16.
plated armor off. Deal substantial damage.
Yeah, because we are going past a lot of the damage that we have available to us. Okay.
Right, because we just lost Bouncing Flask. And they're going to be taking the 3 poison here. Upgrading Noxious Fumes is still pretty good.
I'm still really, really into that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Count Gamble.
Well, you want to play Well-Laid, no?
I do, but I also want to get deeper into the deck. What are we holding with Well-Laid at the moment? Like, it's good, but...
Yeah.
Are
see what
we
you're saying.
fast or are we slow?
Yeah. No, I agree. We should calc. Cool. Good turn. Great turn. One more turn of Invincible. Want a Nightmare of Blade Dance?
Yes. I was taking a moment to consider the possibility of instead nightmaring the piercing whale and trying to just lock the next turn. Yes.
The strength scaling has been really nice. Just gives us something, some kind of edge. So are we upgrading Noxious? Or are we upgrading Adren?
I think Noxious for the Collector fight
For
specifically.
Collector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I was leaning to. GG. Oh, we didn't play the regen potion. Rhapsody.
It's okay. That's okay. We didn't play the regen potion, but it's okay. We may even not end up playing it in the boss fight. In which case,
Depends on the draw.
we've got heavy cycle with the White Beast statue in terms of our potions. It's possible we end up just getting another regen and popping double regen for the 50.
And that would be how we live through the boss. Yeah, that's a heart plan actually. How do we sustain through Beat of Death and being invincible forever while taking small bits of damage? 55 heal.
We definitely use 3 attacks this turn. Well-laid plans also wants to go out. So is it well-laid plans?
Flying knee is one of them.
Backstab, backstab, flying knee, and then even skewer, because
I'd be willing to play this whole hand of attacks if it comes down that way. The 1 in 4 survivor. I think we should play it. It's like it's the best damage right now, right? Pretty incredible. Oh, we can kill a torch head if that's something that we wanted to do.
It's not too bad, although we do have Piercing Whale, Phantasmal Killer, and then the ability to dig with the Calculated Gamble. That does lock us out of the skewer, but the idea past that point, I guess, would be trying to get to Noxious Fumes, and then that's so many turns away from that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the one option that I was considering that was tempting was Skewer to kill 1 torch head, take the 7, hold Nightmare, so that we have more opportunities to Nightmare either Noxious or Adren. But at that point, then we should just calc and draw to those cards.
I'm not mad at Skewer and then calc. Sorry, Skewer and then hold the
hold Nightmare. Yeah, and it opens us up to Nightmare too, which is awesome. Okay.
Fine, I'll hold it instead.
You mean I can't play this? What do you mean? Oh, nice.
That's a hand.
Okay. You know what I think? I don't think we're Nightmaring Adrenaline. I think we're playing Adrenaline and Acrobatics.
Yep.
Because then we can bullet time the whole thing.
Yep. I like it. Nightmare's available now.
What are we dropping? We're dropping the other acro.
Yeah, because after the bullet time goes off, it won't make any sense.
And we're Nightmaring Nightmare and Nightmaring Bouncing Flask?
That's the question, right? We didn't get the Wraith form, but when Wraith form comes out next turn, that's really, really going to be good for us.
Then we're done. Yeah. Or is it Nightmare? Yeah, it's Nightmare Bouncing Flask, right? Nightmare Blade Dance? Maybe better? Nightmare Piercing Well?
Blade Dance is easier to play. Next turn we are just playing the Wraith form, right? We're naturally playing Wraith form. Possibly dupe potioning it.
What do we want to redraw?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And because they're going to be in the draw pile a couple sides down. Both of them are scaling for us, so...
Well, we're not getting hit by Collector next turn. So, let's see. Piercing Whale -8 here. 17. What is it there? 3. 17, 3, 20. Block for 7. 13. Because ideally we'd Nightmare Wraith form next turn, and then we're really safe.
I think it will be that.
Which means we should use our damage to try to rush down this other torch head. Okay.
7 HP is more than enough.
We're cool here because we can Survivor, neutralize Nightmare Wraith form, and we're gold. I know, right? You want to like jamble the noxious fumes.
Can't. I'm
we
not
could
allowed
probably
to
get away
jamble.
with it. We could probably get away with it. I mean, like, what are the bad hits? If it hits Bouncing Flask, we live through this turn by just Bouncing Flask. Bouncing Flask kills it. Unless we get very unlucky. If it makes Nightmare free, then this turn becomes very clean.
All right.
Yeah. Jeej. The odds were in our favor there.
No. Whole handful of Wraith Forms. Mummified Hand plays them all. Or
Win
Bullet
the fight.
Time. That's still in draw. Perfect.
Might as well start playing them, I guess. What did it make free?
Another Wraith Form, and then the second one made a Acrobatics free.
Okay. Not as useful. Good job, Deflect. You're killing it.
It's doing all it needs to.
This deck just wants a master of strategy. Actually, it just wants the Adrenaline to be upgraded and to always get Nightmared.
No lie.
It's simple. GG. Nice fight.
GG. Whew. That is
What
the
a
second
run.
floor we've scraped by the end. Just
I
the
know.
skin of our teeth. But we're still very powerful. I don't know how to...
To reconcile these things, right? I love runs like this to where, you know, someone who's watched a fair, whoa, it's every card that I want. No, my point is irrelevant.
It's 2 points. We don't have that many attacks in the deck at the moment.
We don't need attacks.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe Envenom loses out just due to the...
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just take the extra Wraith form here.
Mm-hmm.
But the Adrenaline is honestly tempting. It's real good. But I think you just take the extra Wraith form here. And so as we take this Wraith form, and we'll have 2 Nightmares and 2 Wraith forms, if you're the kind of viewer who's played a fair amount of Slay the Spire, or more importantly, watched a lot of high-level Slay the Spire, you're thinking, haha, easy free win. And that's why it's so surprising that it's not. And because even though Wraith form is the best, densest block card in the game, even if we're permanently invincible, we're constantly taking a couple points of damage every turn with no way to heal that. We have no sustain other than this blood vial that we purchased at price, right?
Mhm.
So that's what's making it spooky. This deck, it has every tool that it needs. We can guarantee scaling up winning damage for every fight within like 6 turns. But we also have to survive taking a bunch of damage on the way there in every fight. But this is certainly, it's just Wraith form, right? It's just Wraith form.
It is. It's made so much easier with the Mummified Hand as well. Whew. All right, we'll click the Wraith form. We'll skip the deck
Envenom
spot.
is not bad. It's just not Wraith form.
Yeah, it's. I'm not. I wouldn't be mad at the idea of taking it. It's just in the deck we have 1 strike, 2 strike, neutralize, Blade Dance, which is admittedly quite good for
Glass
that.
Knife, Skewer, Flying Knee.
A skewer
And we
that's a
can
little bit
Nightmare
hard to
them.
play because
That's the big thing.
that's true. Skewer's just a
Envenom
little
is
hard to
like you Nightmare 1 Blade Dance and you won with Envenom.
All right. You know what?
Snecko.
No, Tig. Could I ask you to do the same thing that I just did, and I'll try and guide
Sure.
you through the relics we have.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cool.
It's a snake.
it's
there.
It's a bold guess. I've been feeling really restless recently.
Okay.
Because I've been trying to devise.
It's a coffee dripper.
There we go. That's one. I've been trying to devise a way to turn just basically any material that I have lying around into gold. I haven't really been able to do that.
Okay.
As of yet.
What is the alchemy thing? It's not Sozu. It's any material into gold? What's the alchemist philosopher's stone?
There we go.
Philo.
And
I just forget its name.
I've been trying to devise that, but I'm not much of a naturalist or scientist myself, so I might have to have a conversation with a friend of mine who's actually been recently doing some very shocking experiments.
Okay. Nikola Tesla. Shocking experiments.
They're not typically thought of in the guise of history as a scientist. But this is definitely like a kind of strapping and bold example of the ingenuity that one might try and channel.
Strapping and bold.
I mean, you know, if push comes to shove, I can probably just pay someone off with a couple hundreds.
This is a tiny house.
Yeah, that's the stamp duty on a house these days. Couple hundreds.
What is it? Oh, it's a guy. I opened my eyes. I'm sorry. They unsealed themselves. Ta-da!
I was going with
see where
like
you're
a
going with it.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah,
flying a
that's
kite.
a long one. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Respect,
the first two you were too quick on. I had to try and give you a little bit of a whack.
Give
with
it more of a
one.
stretch. No, I appreciate it. I think this is always Philo Stone.
Yes. I was taking a moment
agree?
to think, like, we don't have enough anti-attrition to do Coffee Drip, and we do take damage in a lot of fights. I don't know where we're finding it. But
We're not taking damage from enemies doing damage in the
Yeah.
traditional sense. Yeah.
It should probably be Philo Stone, and it should also probably be a skip to the next part of the episode. You'll find a link in the description down below as we do Acts 3 and 4 in that for the moment. Bye. Go click the link. It's down there.
Ain't nothing bad ever happened in it. Click the link.
Ain't nothing ever bad ever happened in this link.